So it was just announced that Wendy Williams is permanently incapacitated, which means that she is physically unable to do a lot of things. She's probably needing assistance with moving, walking, bathing, dressing herself, the 5 activities of daily living. And more than likely, she doesn't have the ability to make rational, sound decisions without having someone assist her. I think what's scary about this is how quickly she declined. Like one day she was on TV, and then by the next season she was no longer able to even host the show. And after they did her I want to say biography or whatever, or documentary, it's like she's just been on a quick decline. And I hate to say it, but she may not be here much longer. It's really sad to see someone as iconic as Wendy Williams. Like, Wendy Williams and Ayanna Van Zant are like my 2 go-to people when it comes to like someone who needs to break down. And like, cognitively, she was so sound. Like, she was so there. She was so present. And I think it's just like really sad to see somebody such as her go from, being extremely like knowledgeable, vocal, and just like completely vanish. Like, essentially, once somebody loses, like my mom's always told me, once you're like incapacitated mentally, you're gone. Like, the person who you once were is no longer, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's just no longer here. Like, so, I mean, I'm not saying that she's like, technically dead. I'm just saying like, that Wendy Williams that everyone once knew, she's no longer in existence. But it's really sad. It's really, really sad to see someone like herself. And I don't care how good you think you are at reporting news, there will never be another Wendy. Never.
The symptoms are something you really should know about. These may be changes in your behavior or personality. A person may have a loss of empathy or like problems with interpersonal skills. They may not express judgment as well, or they might have a loss of inhibition, be inhibited. They also might have a lack of interest, just no longer be interested in things, which can actually be mistaken for depression. There are other symptoms as well. Sometimes there's compulsive behaviors. Sometimes there's smacking lips or clapping or things that people do all the time. And there even may be other changes. Decline in personal hygiene or changes in eating habits as well. This is a type of dementia where memory, yes, can be involved, but it's not necessarily the forefront symptoms. There are other different types of frontotemporal dementia. Another type affects speech and language. They might have increased difficulty using and understanding written and spoken language, no longer knowing what certain words mean, having hesitant speech, things like that. There's also types that involve more motor-related symptoms. Things like people may have tremor or rigidity, even muscle spasms. They might have problems with coordination or might have falls, muscle weakness. So you see the symptoms really can range. They really can be on a spectrum.
Wendy Williams' guardian claimed in court today that she is permanently incapacitated because of her battle with dementia. This is so sad, but we knew that her health was on the decline, but it seems like it is worse than anyone has seen or assumed, because in a court filing from November 12th, Wendy Williams' guardian said that she has become cognitively impaired, permanently disabled, and incapacitated because of her dementia. She is in a legal battle because she is saying that Lifetime took advantage of her when they filmed the documentary Where's Wendy Williams that came out in February. And even though she was filmed, she didn't have the cognitive ability to actually give that consent. I don't know, this is just so sad. Here's a still from the documentary, and if you watched it, you can see that she wasn't fully there, and it detailed her health struggles that she has really had since the end of her show. But it seems like it is at another level now where she is rapidly declining, which makes me so sad because Wendy Williams is one of my favorites.
Do anybody else feel the same way that I do, or I'm tripping? She was starting to talk, and the industry is making sure that she doesn't say anything. My heart is so heavy for her and her son. She will always be an icon. This lady stayed dropping gems even when we wasn't listening. All this just happened so fast. One day she was on TV, then the next she was just off air. It's so hard watching her go down. But it's not over yet. God has the last say so. I hope he turns this around for her and she come back on air with all that screaming and hollering. I miss that lady. If I'm not wrong, she told us about Diddy first. I see a lot of people saying Puffy got his hands all over this. That's why I always say if All this come with the fame. I don't want it. I just want to be wealthy for me and my family. But prayers to Wendy Williams.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and we have even more sad news. Wendy Williams has been incapacitated and her illness has increased, sadly, and it's such a shame to see her decline and her getting more weak. And it's such a shame that even her mind and her physical being is completely gone. And this is so scary to see how someone that is highly intelligent, highly able-bodied, quickly just wither away. But tell me you guys' thoughts on this, guys. It's very sad.